briefly, kind of sum up everything we kind of talk about, like what really makes you not a statistic.
What makes me not a statistic is...
Y'all gonna make me cry.
Woo! Girl, that's heavy. Let it go, girl. Yeah. Let it go. Whew, Jesus. Thank you. Girl, you're an overcomer.
Ooh, that's a good question. What makes me not a statistic? Ooh, I wasn't prepared for that.
All the knowledge I had from the past failures to this business, and you're talking about going from zero to like $600,000 a month within 2 years.
Woman, people call me phenomenally Black woman. People call me strong. I'll be all of that, but I just want to see the women that God has called to do a work actually do the work.
I allow God to use me, to my fullest capacity. So in every single area of my life, God has access to me. But like the song says, my storage is empty. My storage is completely empty when it's for God. So I'm not a statistic because I'm withholding nothing from God. Nothing. Everything that I have is God's. Every area of my life, God can use me in every single area of my life. There is nothing off limits to God. Nothing.
Because at the end of the day, it's more to us than the kitchen. It's more than us to just Sunday school teaching. It's more to us, watch this, than wearing poofy dresses and big hats and sitting in the pews and just being quiet. There's more to us than that. If I can be successful in the marketplace as a woman, then as a woman of God, in whatever capacity that God has me in, let me be me and let God do the rest.
I teach in the book that you are the greatest technology that has ever existed. There's nobody like Chanel. Nobody. There's nobody like Robert. And what I recognize is that alone, that nobody else carries my DNA.
Hi, you all. Hold on one second.
Hi, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Not a Statistic. You all, this is our 11th show. This is the new episode of Transformation of a Black Man with our special guest, Ronald C Lee Jr. So as you all come on, like, share, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Shout out to y'all. Hey, Nene, appreciate you, sis. Yes, you all like, share, and comment, and we're definitely dialogue with y'all as the show come on. I'm so excited for this episode. I'm so excited for this interview, all. So like I said, as you all come on, like and share. I'm so excited to have each and every one of you all on tonight. If you even watch this replay, like, share as well. Comment, talk to us, say what's up. Tell us where you're coming from. So I really appreciate you all. Hey, Donald, thanks for coming on tonight. So we have no other than artist, entrepreneur, speaker, Ronald C Lee Jr. Hey, Leansis, how you feeling? I'm so excited for this episode, you all. This young man is doing a phenomenal thing. He's a businessman, he's a family man. I'll tell you all how I met him, but as you all come on, like, share. Hey, Nene, thanks for coming on, sis. I really appreciate you. Donald, appreciate you, bro. Hey, Leanne, say what's up. Hey, bro. Hey, Alonzo. So as you all come on, like, share. So I'll dive into how I know Ronald. Basically, about a month or two ago, we was on the same panel discussion with Dr. Lauren Meeks. Shout out to her for the connection. He was saying some great stuff, but he hopped off. We connected on social media, and I kind of studied his story, how phenomenal of a businessman and family man that he was. So I definitely wanted to connect with him to come on the show. I knew he had a story that I really felt as though that the platform should know and hear about. So yeah, so Ronald, how you doing tonight? I can't hear you. No.
Can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Oh, I'm good. I'm just chilling in the midst of all the chaos, just keeping the level head.
That's it. That's all, man. During this time, I know we all on the same level. We all thinking the same. So yeah, tell us more about who you are, and tell us more where you came from, a little bit about your background.
All right, so I was born and raised in Chicago on the South Side, Inglewood. Went to John Hope High School. Shout out to the Eagles, class of 09. Okay. And yeah, so now I stay in Houston. I've been in Houston for about 4 years now. I'm married, got a beautiful son, a beautiful daughter, beautiful wife. I got a couple of businesses. I do music, poetry. I'm an author. I wear many hats, so that's pretty much. But Southside Chicago, sticking through. Yeah.
Okay. So Southside Chicago, Inglewood, right? Inglewood is your stomping grounds. Okay. Hey, Lee, I appreciate that comment, girl. Appreciate that. So yeah. So tell us about your journey as living in Inglewood. Like, you know, how was your journey growing up?
So I had both of my parents, but they wasn't married, and it was always something going on in the household. But for the most part, I had love at home. At home, I can't say that I wasn't loved at home. You know, it's things that could have been worked on and things that could have been better. But for the most part, in my home, it was love. We always had some food. We always had, you know, somewhere for me to lay my head and some clothes to wear. So, you know, it was just like a regular kid. I used to play sports. I was in music and like played in the band and stuff. Then like around 12 or 13 is when I kind of like started gang banging. But it really wasn't, at the time, it wasn't like really gang banging. It was just like me and my friends from the neighborhood, you know, we just started doing getting a little bit more adventurous into the darker side of things. And that kind of led to like, that's when a lot of the violence started, like a lot of the murders and deaths, jail. That's when all that stuff kind of started, like a couple of years after I really like jumped off the porch and really got in the field for real.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. So you said you had both parents in the crib. Like they, you know, you had the love. You didn't have to go like most people go out the house to find love, but you already had that in the home. Despite, like you said, they weren't married, but you still had that 2-parent household. So that was a great thing. You never was lacking anything, no food, no shelter, no none of that.
Yeah.
What would you say was that, like you said, it was more so like you and your friends were just kind of venturing off, you know, trying to see really what this really hanging out, like really as probably friends, and y'all probably got led into some other things. But what would you say that just really had you stay in the streets? Like what really motivated you to stay in the streets even when you had a home where you had love?
I mean, I went home, but we stayed in the hood. Like it wasn't like I was coming to the neighborhood I was at to gang bang. This is where I grew up at. This is where I stayed at. So like home, it was all one thing. It wasn't like separate. You know what I'm saying? Like if by me being from over here, like this what I am. You know what I'm saying? Like to the opposition anyway. So, you know, regardless of like, it's just a matter of like I started getting a little deep into it as like things start escalating, you know, but like it wasn't like I was just led. Like before all these people, before like these dudes was been turned to drillers and savages or whatever, we was like regular little kids. You know, used to play football in the street and basketball on the crate, you know, like go to the pool, play, you know, and catch a girl, freak a girl and all that stuff that everybody else did. Like we was regular kids. So like it's just, you know, as things start escalating, as you get deeper and deeper into the streets, that's when it started going. But it wasn't like nothing that made me, like I said, I always went home. Like my mom used to be tripping and stuff. Like I couldn't stay out all night. So I had to be rebellious to kind of like go to the party and stuff. Like I'm still gonna go, but like my mom really cared. So, you know, it's like, man, she'll pop up over here on me or something.
She'll pop up on you.
Yeah,
like,
she'll pop up. Yeah. So if she found out where I'm at. So you know, it's just like we was poor at the end of the day. So we were subject to everything that everybody else was subject to in the neighborhood. So I started to get into it, and then you know, it was like I found the lane in it, I found the way in it. You feel me? I was accepted there. Like I was able to just like be who I wanted to be in a sense.
Talk about that. That's real deep and profound. Like you said, you found yourself in it. Like you found love in it as well. But even like you said, I always had love at the crib. You feel what I'm saying? Like you said, mama didn't play. Mama pull up on you like, hey, like, what's up? What you on? You can't be kicking it all night. But really, when you talk about you found love and stuff like that, and it was like you said, it was a part of your neighborhood, right? Because like I'm from Inglewood too, right? But my journey was a little different than you. You feel what I'm saying? But like you said, you was subject. You was around it. So like, what can you talk more about? Because some people don't know the language. You feel what I'm saying? Like the oppositions, and you know what I'm saying? Like you're a part of this specific gang, and you can't do something because you in this specific gang, and it's gonna, you know, come against some rules and regulations. And sometimes if you do go against that, sometimes it's a life and death situation. So can you talk more about what you just, you know, pretty much stated about, even though like you had love, but you were subject to the stuff, and you found peace in it, honestly. So can you talk more about that?
I mean, I didn't find peace in the streets. I'm gonna say that. Okay. It ain't nothing peaceful about it at all. Okay. You know, but like my friends, like you know, these are my friends. I've been knowing these people my whole entire life. Like I remember when we, like, you know, first like played basketball with each other and stuff. When I first moved on the block and met them, like these my friends. So yeah, I loved them. We loved each other. It was a camaraderie to it. So it really started from like fighting and stuff, like younger neighborhood stuff. Our block against y'all block, you know, and it was just like fighting, and then, you know, like the older guys from our neighborhood don't like the older guys from this neighborhood. So now the shorties, we younger, so we kind of just following that lead. Like, all right, we don't mess with them. We don't rock with them. We don't kick it with them. That's right. We don't go over the ops. That's the opposition. So, you know, it started out from fighting, and then, you know, somebody get a gun, and then somebody shoot at somebody. Now we got to shoot back. Like that's how it all started. Like it just didn't go from like kids to now we killing each other, you know what I'm saying? Right. It kind of like, it really just escalated like over the years. So it just got deeper and deeper. Yeah, as you get old, as you get really like to kind of like really paint the picture, like the more pain that you deal with, the more pain you start to cause. So when y'all killed my homie, my friend, like, now I want y'all to feel the same pain that I feel. You hear me? Like we want y'all to feel the same pain we feel. Right. You know, like that type of thing. So it's messed up psychologically. Like it really takes for me to be a real adult to look back at it and see that, like, and that was really messed up how we was the mentality. But that's just what the mentality was like.
Yeah. So when you talk about being in the streets and you know, being in a gang, and you know, drugs was a part of that, and obviously, like you said, violence, and you know, it all started off fighting with kids, and you know, hey, we can't kick it with these people because, like you said, these the opposition, you know, that's a big opposition. But can you talk more? What led you into being a penitentiary? Like, what led that?
So, like I'm not a shooter. You know, like that one never really that wasn't my role inside my neighborhood. Like I ain't known for being like a shooter. We out and did, you know, I ain't gonna say we all, but I didn't did my fair share of different things. But you know, I'm not like, I ain't got the heart of a killer and nothing like that. I knew that from like the beginning. Like I ain't just running nobody down, killing them. Like I wasn't that, but like, you know, like I said, I was involved with a lot of stuff. I ultimately end up going to prison, but like I wanted some money. You know, that's what I wanted. I just wanted some money so I could have nice things. Money gave you access. That's what I saw. So I ain't had access to nothing. You feel me? Like both my parents, we ain't never really had like I said, we had what we needed. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. But as a teenager, as a young man, I wanted things. You know what I'm saying? Like I still want things to this day. Right. And I just really didn't know, you know, I ain't really know no other way to get them. I always had a entrepreneur spirit. I just was selling illegal products. That's all. Okay. And when I went to prison the first time at 17, I went to prison for armed robbery. I did 4.5 years for that. So from 17 to 22, like I was in prison. Then I got out and I stayed out for 4 months, but I went right back to the same neighborhood, right back with my guys, like doing the same thing. I only stayed out for 4 months. I got caught with a gun, and then I went back for another 2 years. And then that's when like the transformation for me really changed. But like that from like 12 to 17 before I went to jail, that's when like it was, you know, just things just kind of like escalating. I still was going to school. Like a lot of people know me. When I caught my first case, they came and got me out of school. Like I had just got straight A's and stuff. So I always like I just straddled the fence. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But when I get out, I'm finna go hustle, I'm finna go be on the block, I'm finna go do my thing like that. So it just really, you know, caught up to me to where I couldn't do both.
Wow. Okay. Wow. So it's crazy that you say that. It's like, you know, it was people that I would hang out with or knew of, and like they was the smartest kids, man, but they just caught up in some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Got in the street early or later on down the line, and whatever the issue was. But it's funny that you say that. Is a lot of the kids who were in gangs and stuff like that, they were brilliant, like geniuses. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, because for me and like my peers, like most of my peers in high school, like all of us kind of like dead or in jail, went to jail. So my whole little circle, and we was like some of the brightest of the bunch. But school didn't challenge me. Like school ain't never teach me nothing about myself. So I never really I wasn't really, it wasn't reflective to my life. Like it was like, okay, y'all telling me about this, but when I leave from this school, like we gotta have a gun to get home because we gotta ride through some neighborhoods on the bus to get home. So we got a gun coming home from school. So what you talking about? How is this gonna help me? You know what I'm saying? Get some money. How is this gonna help
survive?
Me? How is this gonna help me survive? Yeah, and it wasn't teaching me that. So I had a natural gift. I was always smart, so I was able to pass. I was able to, you know, school wasn't hard for me, but I never valued it. I never put no value on it. It was it wasn't teaching me nothing about me. It was I couldn't be myself. You have to wear a uniform, and you gotta raise your hand to speak. You know, like all that. If I get done with my work early, like y'all ain't got nothing else for me to do, y'all tell me I just put my head down or something. Like, you know, it's 40 minutes left in class. So I'm gonna be turning to a class clown and start messing with it. Like I ain't got nothing else to do in here. You know, y'all it's not challenging me.
Yeah. So somebody else struggling, trying to get the homework done, trying to get the assignment done, but you already done. And you like, okay, what else? I'm gonna mess with y'all. You feel what I'm saying? So I get it. Like I said, some of the class clowns that I knew was like geniuses, like and help you with all type of math problems, stuff like that. But it was something that you said that was so profound. Like school didn't teach me about me. So what would you say, like with your, you know, your experience in the streets and experience, like you said, in the penitentiary from, you know, 17, and you said you went in twice, went in for 4 years, and then you was out for 4 months, and then you went right back for something else. And what would you say taught you? What really taught you? If school didn't teach you who you were, what did?
Just life experiences, but really just that second time when I went back to prison, that's when I changed my life. That's when I really like grew up. Like I'm like, man, this just ain't no mistake. You turn this like a lifestyle now, man. You know, and I had to be real with myself and really start, you know, kind of like really asking myself real questions like, how did I have both of my parents and I still end up gangbang? You know, like I had to be real with myself. Like, man, how did you even end up doing this? Like, why did you think it was okay to be doing this? And that's when I started to see, like, ultimately, you know, like I wanted camaraderie, like who don't want a brotherhood? That's why people go join the army and join sororities and fraternities and, you know what I'm saying, like organizations, because like you want camaraderie, you want a team, you want a, you know, like a family and network. So that's what you want. So like growing up in Inglewood, like it was either like once I got to high school, I saw I wasn't no athlete. So you know what, I ain't really had no other options. So I don't want to make no excuses or nothing, but that's like these are the conversations that I was having with myself. Inside that prison cell that second time, like because the first 10 months of the second time I went back, I was gone for 2 years, but the first 10 months I was like almost on solitary confinement, like 75% of the times, like 24/7 lockdown. So I was just like in a cell, you know, with myself, just having to really like just deal with myself, like fight them demons. That was like the toughest time of my life, but that's when I really like got to myself to where I was able to come home and be me. Like I ain't with that no more. I ain't hanging. I don't care what nobody got to say. How y'all feel? It is what it is. This what I'm on. That's how I was able to really take off, because I had a real understanding of who I was. Like I knew what made me happy. I knew my triggers. You know, I learned how to control my anger. Like I learned how to like really hold myself accountable and not like keep on pointing the finger at my circumstances and my people. You know, like I started to like really look at myself like, yeah, your parents, my people was poor, but like I didn't have to do that. You feel me? Like I ain't have to do that. Like I chose it. You feel me? Like even though I could say like, well, we ain't had no other options, but it's like, well, you chose those then. You know, like I made those choices. I knew right from wrong. So I just that second time, just to answer your question, that's really when I got to know myself. And now I'm just forever evolving. I learn myself. Like I just go deeper and deeper into myself now and still do the same thing and kind of like just make myself better, a better person every day.
Better person every day. I love that. So you said when you was incarcerated and you just really, you said you fought, you know, was fighting your own demons and stuff like that. So was it that you was just like brainstorming like, man, like, you know, what am I going to do from this point? Like you said, it took some time for you to really realize who you were. And it was, as you said, it wasn't school, but it was like experience, man. Like I literally found out who I was by the stuff, the mistakes that I made. And what you said was so much growth, and I could hear it in your voice, and just even knowing more about your story is absolutely the growth. You feel what I'm saying? And you had to really realize the things that you did. Like you said, you had both of your parents, you had love. Yeah, y'all was poor, y'all wasn't in maybe the best situation, but you initially had love in the career. You feel what I'm saying? It was a decision that you made, but of course there's no condemnation. You know, you definitely admit to it, but you grew from it. But during that time when you was incarcerated, did you already have a plan when you came out, like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, or it was just like, let me just realize who I am, what I need to do? And like, what was your kind of like your mindset of like going forward, and like when I get out of here, what's next for me?
Like, so I had a plan. Like I knew what I wanted to do when I was in there. Like I came home and I said, okay, so the first thing I did before I created like a plan, I found out like what I wasn't gonna do, who I wasn't gonna be, and where I wasn't gonna go. Like I ain't doing this no more. I'm not gonna be this person no more. I'm not fooling with this. Like I drew that line. Like, no, I'm not going back here. Now, I didn't know I was 25 when I came home. So I'll be 30 next month. So this 5 years ago when I came home.
Okay.
And, so I just knew I was like, I wanted to get a job so I could have some consistent money. And I wanted to start my business, which I did. That was my plan. That was the start of it. And I'm like, I just build from there. You feel me? But I'm like, I want a job to get something consistent. And I need to get me a business so that I could have, because I know I can't work no job for too long, because I just can't work a job.
I just can't work a job, man.
It's not going.
You know.
So it don't never work out. Yeah. So I just was like, let me get something to have some consistent money so I could, you know, I'm a grown, I was 25, I'm a grown man. I'm like, I need to have some paper in my pocket. Like all the time I need to be able to take care of myself, my responsibility, certain things. So You know, I knew I was gonna have bills and all that, so I'm like, I need to have something secure, something like damn. So I came and that was ultimately the plan. That's the as far as I saw it, I knew I was gonna take it further than that, but I'm like, I need to get that off back.
Wow.
And that's what that's ultimately what I did when I first came home.
Okay, so like you said, you started to have a plan. You knew, okay, I don't want to keep a job, but I'm gonna start off and then I'm gonna start my business. So was it hard for you to like really do job searching and like really get started when you first got released from prison? Like how was that process coming right out?
Really? I know a lot of people, so and I always been, even though I was like in the streets, I never really did nothing wrong to nobody personally. Like I ain't really crossed nobody. There ain't nobody that hate me or want to like personally kill me. Like I want to kill Ronald. I don't think. Right. I mean, at least I hope it's not. But I ain't did nothing to nobody like that to make them feel.
Right. I feel
you. So it was really I was on house arrest, and I was on Facebook. And one of my high school classmates, she had made a post. She was a manager at McDonald's, and she was complaining about having to stay over another shift because somebody quit. So I just hit her in her inbox like, y'all, I heard you I know you tired of picking up them extra shifts. Like y'all hire,
put me
on, put me in the game. Like I come take. And she was like, shout out to Raven too, and she was like, like, you work at McDonald's for real? I'm like, yeah, I ain't tripping. Exactly. And she got me the interview and I got in. I was out for like 2 weeks and I got in at McDonald's and just started as I started as a cashier at McDonald's.
Wow. So it was also when you talked about the mindset, you knew that you wasn't gonna go a certain place, you wasn't gonna do a certain thing. You kind of just shut off. You mentally, you made that decision like before you even got out. Like, okay, I already know. So when you talk about that, you said your homies did, serve some time too. So did you, depart from your homies, or how was your, as far as your circle? Did your circle get smaller? How was your process as far as your circle?
Shit, I ain't had no circle. It was just me. Hey. I mean, I got close friends that I consider like brothers, and like, so I always had my brothers, but for the most part, I was doing me. I had to find out who I was as an adult. My whole adult life I had spent in prison, so like I didn't even really know who I was, like. For real, like I was still trying to like find my way in this world. I'm still like getting to know myself to this day. Like I just started making music last year. Wow, that was something that I could have, I just found out. Like let me try this. Right. So it was just me. Like, and at first, a lot of my homies, they really didn't receive it well because I wasn't around. I wasn't messing with them, but I was just like, I ain't gonna be no good if I keep on messing with y'all, bro. Like I can't keep going in and out of jail, like at some point, something gotta change. So I just kind of like put my foot down and did me.
Wow. So I want to honor your beautiful wife. Shout out to her if she on. Thank you. So can you talk about your relationship with your, did you meet her before or after, and how you all started your beautiful family? Talk about that some.
So I met her right before I moved to Houston.
Okay.
So to like a backdrop, like, so I came home in 2015. I moved to Houston in 2016. So like as soon as I got off parole and stuff, I had got fired from my job. Like I said, I knew it wasn't gonna last. So
it wasn't gonna work out. Like,
so
I'm on some other stuff.
I got fired, and once I got fired, this was November 6th, and I moved to Houston December 9th. So I got fired, and I was just like, man, I ain't got no kids. I wasn't in no relationship. I ain't had nothing locking me down to Chicago, and I knew I needed to get away because it was just too many. Like I just kept on like running, and God just kept on giving me signs that it was time to go. Like,
come on.
One time, like really the firing was like that final sign. Like I had been getting the signs before, like it's time to move, and then once I got fired, it was like, okay, like you ask for freedom, here it go, you know. And I moved to Houston, but I had met my wife right before. Well, she wasn't my wife at the time, but I was right before I moved to Houston. I was making bomber jackets in Chicago, and like they had like went viral, and yeah, it was kind of like it was real crazy. And she was one of the people that had kind of got up on it. I had did a raffle, a giveaway, and was like, just share this post, and I'm picking one person to give a jacket to, and like the post went viral. And she was one of the people, but she reached out and inquired and was like, even if I don't win the raffle, how can I buy a jacket? And we talked some business, and then I shot my shot, got her number, and like a couple of weeks later, I moved to Houston. And we were doing a long distance relationship for about 6-7 months. Then she graduated from college and moved down here. And she was down here for like a week and got pregnant with my daughter. He wasn't even home.
That was all she wrote. That was it.
A week. And like changed that on me. I'm talking about for real. When we was moving in our first year, we going to the doctor getting visits. Like it happened so fast. Like it wasn't even like, yeah, we weren't even like together for a year, nothing like that. Everything happened real fast with us. And then we had the baby. And really like my wife really like she was the first commitment that I ever made. That's why I like say like she the key to my success, because I had never really committed to nothing. Yeah, I never committed to nothing in my life before. Like I said, I was a halfway gangbang. I was a halfway student. I was a halfway, I was doing everything. Yeah. Like I'm kind of, I ain't finna go kill nobody, but I'm out here though. You know what I'm saying? They come up,
you was really about your money too. That was really the ultimate thing. Like
so and when I committed to her, like I ain't took an L since.
If y'all have not already done so, like and share this, because he's been dropping some gems, just dropping it like just here and there. So if you haven't already done so, he like is really transparent. Like and share this content if you on YouTube, subscribe, definitely. Share this. This is really, really good. Let's go back. This man said his wife was the key to his success. Like,
yeah.
And then, oh my God. And if it wasn't for meeting his wife and really just actually, like you said, moving her down and like things that started rolling and y'all really built your family from that point, it's like you probably, like you said, kind of want to be the man. And like you said, the first commitment that you have had.
I'm going to tell you, see, like when we just black, I'm going to say black men because I'm a black man, right. But black men, like we have to like, when I was chasing women, when I had 3-4 women in rotation, I wasn't committed to myself. You feel me? I was committed to all those soul ties. So I wasn't committed to me. I'm committed to making her happy, pleasing her. I got to take her out. She needs time. She all these different emotions. So I was stagnant. You know what I'm saying? And like when I moved, I was like, I got connected with her and she gave me a vibe, a feeling that I had never felt before. So I was just like, I felt like a wholeness, you know what I'm saying? With her, like, wow. I don't really need nobody else. And that's when I was able to really do me. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't chasing women no more. I was really just chasing my dreams and chasing my vision. And that was really like, that's why I say she the key to it, because I was able to just focus on, I wasn't moving to get women or to attract women and nothing like that. I was building my business. I was building my brand. So every time I always had a gift with women. I know how to talk to women. I know how to communicate with women. Mm-hmm. I always been good at that. Like on all levels, even with older women, young women, like I talk to, like, I hang with my mom and my grandma, like that was, so I know how to put
you on to like the language and just how to talk to them, basically.
Yeah. And like, I got a lot of women friends that feel safe around me. I ain't never tried nothing with, like, this just my homie. We rock, so as an older man, I know like how to really like be respectful of the woman. But a younger, I was like, I'm trying to score, I'm trying to get some, I'm trying to, I had that mindset, especially coming home from prison. So even though I was doing like a lot of positive things, like I still left like a trail of like broken women, you know, just kind of like steady dealing with different women. And meeting her is what made like was like I'm committed to her. And that's when I was really just able to unlock my vision. Like, and I was just able to see clearly in at that point. You know, like it wasn't cloud. I wasn't trying to please nobody. I ain't had nobody to impress no more. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
good.
yeah. So I was just really just doing me, just focused on doing me. And that's what took me to, and she believed in me. Like she blindly believed in me. Yeah.
Man.
Ain't nobody really besides my mother. Ain't nobody really just blindly believed in me. Like whatever. Like if I say, when I told her my plan, my vision, like she was like, "I think you could do it," and that's all I really needed to hear. Like, man, you think I can? You feel like
you think I can do it? Right.
You think I can do this crazy? You know, this crazy. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you think I can? And she like, yeah, and that was really all I needed. Like, she believed in me, and like, so that's why our relationship so strong, because like we just help each other all the time emotionally. So like things be up and down for both of us, but we committed to loving each other throughout whatever it is. So we get through it.
Wow. Whoo, Jesus. If y'all have, like I said, if y'all have not done so already, like, share this content, because Ronald is like really dropping some gems, especially about the transformation of his life, man. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. So I think your audience and your timeline needs to see it. So talk about, like you said, your wife believed in you, and you basically, and besides your mother, because you never had a feeling towards another woman like you did your wife, and she pushed you. She really did. She pushed you to really accomplish your goals and dreams. So what was a big transformation for you guys as a whole, as a family? What talk about your businesses. So like, what was the big transformation as she moved down and you all, you know, your first child, your daughter, and then now you all have a little baby son, you know?
The third, Ronald Lee the third, little Trey.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a project named after him. Go get it on all streaming platforms.
Yeah.
But really for us, I think it was really my daughter, just having her, and that's what really brought us together. Because the first year that we was together, like our first year living with each other, like 9 of those months she was pregnant.
Okay.
You know, and then the other 3 months we had a baby.
So, right, like, exactly. So it just happened so quick.
Like so the toughest part of our, like, that was like the toughest time, just really us learning how to communicate with each other. Like me learning that when she got attitude, like it might not be, don't have nothing to do with me, like, and vice versa. Right. So it was really like that first year. And we just, like, I don't know, we just like committed to really like helping each other. Like I want to see her be the best version of herself, and she want to see me be the best version of myself. So, you know, like I always, like going back to like with my childhood, like I had both of my parents, but my father never cherished my mother. I never seen him he never cherished her, you feel me? And like, so I always said, like, when I find true love, when I find that woman, like, I'm gonna cherish her. I'm gonna put her on a pedestal, you feel me? Like,
period.
Yeah, I'm gonna make her, you know, like you gonna be the most special woman in the world to me, you feel me? Right. Like, and I just always had that's always been my approach since day one. Like, she ain't have to go through she ain't have to get treated bad to get the reward. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's good.
I came in with, like, I'm gonna treat you right. And I think the biggest thing is, like, we really help each other heal. You feel me? Like, that's what like that trauma that we got, so we able to fight our demons with each other. You know what I'm saying? And like, you don't have to fight alone. So we sleep in bed with each other every night, but like we deal with things. Like I'm a real upfront person. Like that's why I'm so transparent. Like it is what it is with me. Like I didn't been judged by like real judges before. So just somebody that's like, you know, somebody get paid to judge people. You know, went to school to
listen, people get judged.
That's paid to do it. Yeah, like y'all don't, everybody else, like I don't really.
That's
so
facts.
I just move in that way. So I'm just real direct with my approach, and like that's like with communication. So I'm real big on communication between me and her. Like if something going on, we're gonna talk, whether it pissed me off, whether it turned into a little argument or a disagreement. Like we got to express how we feel. Like we have to know how we feel at all times so that we can know how to move with each other, how to help each other, what to do, you know. So
That's good.
we just it really is still a process, you know.
Still the process. And
It's
that's
still a
good.
process. We still learning, we still growing, but like I said, we both committed to the process of loving each other and growing. So
that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. And I love how you just are with your family. Obviously, I only see you on social media, but just like you said, you always talk about that's being your best friend. And, you know, just to even hear more about your story, about you all's relationship is actually beautiful. So can you talk more about entrepreneurship, being a speaker and being a transfer, you know,
Transformational Success.
Yeah, Transformational Success Speaker. I'm sorry.
They gave me that name at a college. They gave me that like that's how they introduced me one time at university. So I just ran with it. Like, all right, that's what I am.
Right, exactly. I never heard that.
Good.
Yeah. So talk more about that, and you know, as being an artist as well.
Okay, so like my entrepreneur journey really it started, like I said, when I first came home from prison. I started a clothing line called Fly Money, and it was me and my brothers. And you know, that's something that I had wanted to do when I was younger. When I was a teenager, I had wanted to start a clothing line. Like, if I ain't go to prison, I really would have stood on that. I'd be a millionaire right now, because ain't nobody had no clothing lines back in 08. Like nobody had that. So, and I started that. So for me doing a clothing line, I got me a car. I worked my way up management at work and everything. The business was doing good. I started building a little buzz around the city and stuff. And the people close to me started telling me I should tell my story because it was real inspirational. It was, you know, like, man, you doing your thing. You just did all that time in jail. You should start telling your story. So I just started getting a little bit more vocal on social media about the moves that I was making and stuff. And then I went and got my first speaking engagement. And like I just got hooked from there. And like the professor told me, was like, he was like, man, you a natural. You should really think about doing this for full time. So it took me a while to really like to get taken serious in that world, because I don't have no real education and nothing like that. Like on paper, I ain't educated on paper. You know how they say it, felonies and all that. So in order to break into that like higher education realm, you know, you have to have like a certain, you know, resume.
Absolutely. Right.
So for me, it was kind of like a little hard to break through at first. But after I moved to Houston and all that, when I first got to Houston, I just was still doing my clothing line. So I had Flat Money, and it ended up turning to like 3 clothing lines. I had like 3 different brands that I was doing simultaneously. Wow. Then I started helping other brands. A lot of brands in Chicago, you know, like, I don't want to say the name because I don't want to be like I started it, but you know, they know it's respect, it's all love out there. Yeah. Like, but I helped a lot of these brands like get started, you know, like without asking for nothing, without charging them nothing, just gave them the game, just gave them the sauce. Like, this what you do, get this machine, get this, go here, order this from here, get, you know, just put them on the sauce, how to do it. Yeah, and so shout out to them. A lot of them doing successful. So I that's what I love, seeing my people do good. And I just really doing the clothing thing. Like, I was building up really, like, I didn't know it, but I was like kind of like creating a resume that I needed to break into that realm. So when I got down here, a college reached out to me, and that was my first paid speaking engagement. They was like, you know, they heard about me, a student recommended me, was like, man, I know this guy, and they reached out to me. So that was my first time speaking, and I spoke to it was like 500 people there. I was nervous. Yeah, so I was nervous. I'm like, I don't really, you know, and I was like the headliner, you know, and I'm like,
the keynote speaker.
Yeah, they come. I got the big pitch on the flyer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm seeing it, and I'm still, you know, right. I'm like, now, mind you, I'm 2 years out of prison. You know, I'm still kind of fresh out in a sense. Like, I never really did nothing, seen nothing in my life for real. So I'm experiencing life, and I get out there and I saw all them people, man, and after that it just took off. And when my wife got pregnant, I told her that like we really kind of like we made a sacrifice. So I told him, I'm like, the t-shirts, don't get me wrong, it was doing good, but I was selling $20 t-shirts. I'm like, I got to sell too many t-shirts to make money. You feel me? Like, it's cool when it's me and we ain't really got no, you know what I'm saying, kids, like this t-shirt money is cool, but I'm like, I'm finna have a baby. Like, I need to get something that's secure. So she was like, what you want to do? I'm like, I need to learn how to become a professional speaker. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's what I need to be. I need to be a professional. I'm like, I just can't be it as a hobby. So I reached out to a college professor that I knew, and I asked him if I could come volunteer under him. And so I was just an assistant professor. I volunteered under him for a whole semester, and I watched him operate in the at a college. And I watched him move, a black man. I watched how he mingled, how he connected, you know, how he dressed. I just watched everything that he was doing, the way he handled himself, the way he engaged with the students, the way he engaged with the staff. And he started putting me on, and like he started feeding me, you know, like the game, like he was like my mentor. Like he's still my mentor as my big brother there. I was just with him earlier. We was passing out some turkeys and stuff, man. So like we still connected. And but he gave me the game, and after that, like I just became a more polished speaker. I started doing lectures. I started, you know, being able to speak for an hour at a time, 2 hours at a time, like really give lectures.
Right.
So that's when the book came. So once I did that, like another brother. That's why it's like if you got to put yourself in position.
Come on.
To get the help that you need, like you gotta be putting in the work. Like you gotta be in the room if you think somebody gonna be able to help you. So I was speaking, and an older brother came up to me after the engagement, and he said, man, it's something that you told me that's gonna help me with my son. He like, I'm gonna go talk to my son. Now I know how to talk to my son after hearing you, because you sound just like him. He like, I wasn't able to listen to him, but I was able to listen to you. So now I need to go listen to him. And he asked me, he said, do you have a book? And I'm like, nah, but I need one. And he like, all right, come by my office. That was Tuesday. That was a Sunday when I spoke. The Tuesday I came by his office, and he was like, you gonna have a book in 30 days. That was December of 2018, I think. Yeah, 2018, because I dropped my book January of 19. So literally 30 days after meeting him, I had a #1 new release on Amazon. Literally. Wow. And then I went on a 5-city book tour. I came back home. I booked the whole tour myself, set up the dates. I came back and like set up some more dates, went back on another 5-city tour. And then I took the summer off last summer. This was all last year. So this all within the last 2 years. I took last summer off, traveled with my family. And then I started doing poetry. And then the poetry turned into music. And then now it just all, you know, like working together. So like now I'm just performing, like, so I'm getting paid to perform. It's crazy. Like it's but
how your life can change.
Just like that, yeah, like a decision. So sometimes you got to make a sacrifice. You might have to take a step back. Like I took a step back. Like I stopped selling clothes. A lot of people looked at me like I was crazy. Like, why would you stop selling? And I'm like, I need to focus. I need to be a professional speaker. Like they paying people $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, and that's what I saw. I'm like, I saw somebody. I'm like, I asked him, like, man, how much did you know, if you don't mind me asking? And he said, at least 10,000. I'm at least 10,000.
At least.
And I'm like, when I saw what he did, and I'm like, I could do that better than him. I knew I could do it better than him. And that's when I said, like, I need to be a professional at this. So if I'm saying I want 10,000, I need to be worth 10,000.
Ooh, you better know it.
And I started, so I took that step back. Like it got time, like financially, it was kind of hard around those times. My family, everybody was looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, bro, you got a baby on the way. You need to be doing something. I'm like, I am. I was going up to that college 4 days out the week, 8 hours a day, volunteering. Wasn't making no money.
Wow.
And my wife believed in me through all that. Even when her parents was telling her, like, he need to do something, you got him. Like, they was acting like I was a bum laying around. Like, and she just was like, now he got a plan. Like, he told him his plan. I believe it. Like, he ain't just not doing nothing. He's working his plan. And it worked. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. You just inspired me, guys. If you have not already done so, like and share this content. Ronald is dropping hella gems. He very, very transparent about his story, and just to see literally the transformation from, like you said, 10, 12, when you was, like you said, gang banging, started with fighting, got in some trouble, was in prison twice, got out, had a plan before you got out, made a decision, started a clothing line with you and your brothers, met a woman that changed your life, married her, had a baby, literally, like you said, but you had a plan, even when you was working at McDonald's, because that was something that you had to do for, like you said, you was all down for like a few months. But then you had a plan, though. You already had your mindset that I'm going to be an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter what it looks like. And you had a woman that,
I said I'm gonna be my own boss, man. I'm a man, bro. I can't ask nobody if I can go to my kids, nothing. Like, I ain't ask nobody, can I do nothing? Like, that's why I always get in trouble, because I'm rebellious. I just ain't got that spirit. Right. I'm a runaway slave, man. I make these hoodies today on my website. I can't stay on the plantation.
Man, who you telling? Do you hear me?
I can't
hear me? Look, you're not like nobody who works 9 to 5 at all.
Wow, yeah. My wife a teacher, so shout out to the work.
Wow.
Like, I ain't that person where, like, you need to be, everybody got a role, so I ain't against it. But for me, it's just like,
it wasn't for you.
No.
And just to see, like you said, get in position, get in the room, get in position, and then you will get the help. Like you said, you actually spoke to this professor and said, hey, I want to be a professional speaker. And like you said, your homies was like, man, like, whole time, like, you should be telling your story because it's inspirational. Like, and you was being honest, like, we finna have a whole baby, and we really need to be making some more money. You get what I'm saying? But what you said was you had to sacrifice to make that decision to basically change your family's life. To start the process. You feel what I'm saying? And that's, like I said, that's inspirational within itself. So for you to like you said, sacrifice a little change or some money to really do something that you really had a passion for, it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. So tell us the name of your book, and also tell them how they can let's tell us the name of your book first before we go there.
So the name of the book is called Tranformational, Breaking Generational Curses and Mental Barriers.
Okay.
So it's 9 stages for personal and professional growth and development. And you can find it at ronaldcleejr.com. Like, I got them on my website. Like, everything is on my website, ronaldcleejr.com. My full name. That's where you can find me at everywhere. Like, I just use my name, man. I don't got no what's right there on the Ronald C Lee Jr. That's my .com. And the book. So the book really, like, the book is what really changed my life, because, and I suggest anybody, and I'm telling you, like, you need to get you a book like tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll put you on some game after this. I'll let you know it's a little easier than
we're definitely
way easier than but the book, it really, is gonna take you to another level. We need more Black authors. That's why I would share the information with you, because we need more Black authors. Like, I don't like when I come into a room and they be like, you the first Black author I ever met. It'd be like, damn, I'm for real. Like, out of all the Black people you met in your whole life, I'm the first author, like,
I'm the only one,
like, so somebody, I'm not a shallow person, so that don't flatter me. Like, oh, it don't puff me up. It's like, it really saddens me, because I be like, man, we need more of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to create the literature for our kids and our kids' kids. We got to tell a pit by our time, like, we got to leave something behind. So
we definitely do. We definitely do. And I want to tell people how what really had drawn me to like really study your story, Ronald, was the fact that the matter was every video you all that I have seen thus far, Ronald, he had his daughter and his son. Like, at first I see his son all the time. His son is looking in every video, whether he's talking about his book, whether he's talking about his songs, whether he's giving an inspirational message, he has his kids present. You all. And there was another video when you was going into, I think it was Long College. You went to a college.
Yeah.
And you spoke, and he had his daughter, and she had a little purse, y'all. And I was just like, Wow. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I was talking to someone, I said that, you know, you don't want your kids to be looking for a role model outside the home. You don't want them to look on TV, be like, I want to be like Oprah. No, I want to be like my mama. I don't want to look at it, but like, I want to be like Kobe. I want to be like whomever. I want to be like Michael. Now I want to be like my daddy. You get what I'm saying? So like you and your wife is providing the examples within the household. So when your kids grow up, they be like, I want to be like mommy and daddy because mommy and daddy I was with them. You know what I'm saying? Your baby girl and obviously both of your children has been there with you all, even through you all success and whatever you all are doing in your endeavors. And I think
I
that is so
homeschool my
beautiful.
kids.
I'm sorry.
I homeschool my kids.
Wow.
Like I'm not putting them in a traditional school, you know, school system. So like I'm really hands-on. Like I'm hands-on. Like I get them up, get them breakfast, I give them well, my son, he young, so he ain't really like, you know, I ain't ready to give him no lessons. He just hanging around right now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. He just soaking it up. But like my daughter, I'm really making sure like I'm teaching her all her colors, her shapes, her alphabets, her numbers. Like we just going over like assets and liabilities. Like I'm drilling that in her head. Like say assets over liabilities, and then she asks like she 2, and she asks like what's the asset?
Wow.
You know, so after I didn't had her saying it 15, 20 times, she want to know like what's the asset? Why you steady got
what is it?
Yeah,
I seen the video. You said it. You had her say it. Absolutely.
And while we was walking, you know, so while we walking and I'm showing her, you know, the trees and I'm showing, you know, like color, teaching her colors, quizzing her while we walking, just that time, you know, like it's priceless. So I'm real hands-on with mine. So
Wow. So what would you say to a millennial right now, right? I mean, you're millennial as well, but just the experience and the wisdom that you have, what would you say to that person who, you know, been made mistakes, probably went down kind of like the same road that you went down, but they just don't know how to get out the situation that they're in? What would you say to that person?
Like take the first, like figure out, like find out where you want to go. Like where do you want to go in life? Like really think about that. A lot of people don't really even know like what they want to be or who they want to be or how they want their life to look. Like just really picture your life. Like what would make you happy? You know what I'm saying? Like what in your mind, right? Like what makes you happy? What do you want? How do you want your home to look? What type of family do you like? All those things. Think about them and then write them down and then figure out like, okay, what's the first step to getting here? Like, you know, like what do I got to do first? So if you want a family, if you want a home, if you want, you know, a nice car, foreign, whatever it is that you want, like if you desire those things, you want them. Like I ain't gonna say there's nothing wrong with it. Like I want that stuff too, but it's like be practical and find your first step. Like, and I'm just gonna use me as an example. Like I knew I desired wealth, money, but it's like I don't know how to get this. I don't know how to get the things that I want. So what do I know how to do? I know I could go work at McDonald's. I know I could get a job,
right?
And I know I could, you know, stack these checks. I know how to, you know, put this money up, you know, and put this money over here to start this business, you know. Yeah, and I started small, like just start small, like just start. That's what I say. Just start and never stop. You know,
start and never stop.
Stop and don't ever stop. It don't matter how hard it get. It might get dry. It might get slow. You might go through a patch where you confused. You don't know what to do next. Like, you know, every time you get to another level, it's gonna be new options. Like now you got to see all these other options. Like, man, I'm finna get through all this now. Like, so, but still have that same mentality, you know. And then I say, like, start, like, create your vision, start, don't stop, and then just like fall in love with the process. Like really like the process of growing. Like, so I love the process of growing. That's why I start so much stuff. Like, if you know, people don't even really I don't really know how to categorize myself for nothing. I just be like, I'm just an artist, man. I don't really know how to put, because I do so many things because I like the process of not knowing, then finding out. Oh, man, okay. Now I know, like, and the challenge of doing something. So when I first started making music, like to kind of like piggyback off that, when I first started making music last year, like I knew I was going to drop 4 projects in the first year. Like I knew, I'm like, man, I'm doing 4 projects this first year and I need to perform. So I knew I was like this, and I'm I'm good at it now. You know what I'm saying? Like they paying me to come. Like it's crazy. Like I said, like they somebody just hit me up and asked me like what's my fee to come perform at the event. And I was just like, damn, I was just paying people to perform at their shows. Now they, reaching
Paying
out.
you.
Yeah. So, and I'm still gonna pay people to get on their shows. Like I'm not gonna change that. Like because it's a platform. So like that's another thing. Like invest in yourself. Like you have to invest in yourself. One of the things I did, I always invested. So just say if I make $200 off t-shirts today, I'm going to take $200 and I'm putting it back into more t-shirts. I'm going to get more merch. So now I just got so much merch. Like I'm sitting on profit now. Everything is profit. So I got 100 shirts right here, pure profit, because I kept on reinvesting in it. And that's how you do it. Like now, like with the books, everything just keep investing. Like, okay, I put this in, put it back. So especially if you grew up like I grew up, you in the streets. If you can cook some coke and hit the block with it, you can build a business and make it clock. You can do the same thing. If you could,
come on, that's
if
good.
you could start from a 7 a loud and turn it into a QP or a pound or whatever it is, you can take a business. It's the same principles apply. It's the same rules.
Yes.
Like that's why the first thing I said, I was always an entrepreneur. I was just selling products that's illegal. That's what made me a criminal. That's what made me a criminal. I was selling products that was legal. Now I just sell products that's legal, and I'm a businessman now. Before I was a criminal. Now I'm a businessman, but I'm doing the same thing.
That's true.
I got
the same principles, just doing the right way.
Yeah. So that's what I say to anybody. Just take what you know already. Like you already got a skill or a gift that you already operating in. Just like learn how to monetize it.
That's good. That's really good, y'all. Oh my God. Like I said, if you all have not already done so, like, share. We're coming to a close. Ronald, man, I appreciate you so much. This was really good. So last question, what makes you not a statistic?
I would say what make me not a statistic is because like I really can't be defined by like a statistical category. You know what I mean? Like you can't just really put me in one category of like a statistic, like a statistic, like black. Like I don't fit into none of those boxes or none of those.
I want you to dig. So based off your story, right? Yeah. We talk about your story as you grew up in an impoverished neighborhood, right? Inglewood, right? And you, like I said, you was in a 2-parent household and you leaned onto the street, did some illegal stuff, but then you went into penitentiary, but you changed your life around, right? A lot of times people, when they come out, they do, it's like a Peter recycle. It's like they do the same thing over and over.
It's 66%.
Huh?
Recidivism rate like 68%. Going back.
Yeah. So you decided to make a plan and you actually executed once you got out, and even you continue on with pursuing being a professional speaker, right? So you are not a statistic, right? Most people would have still been living that life to this day, man. You feel what I'm saying? With the family or whatnot, but you decided to change the trajectory of your life because you fought the demons that you had to face in prison, and you came out and said, you know what, no more of this. You made a decision before you left out, I'm going to change whatever I need to do. I'm not going back to where I came from. I'm going to do what I need to do to get out of what I came from. And you did just that. You get what I'm saying? Even just going back into, like you said, your father didn't cherish your mother, but you show that in your family. You know what I'm saying? You cherish your wife. You respect your wife. So you are not a statistic just based upon that. Statistically, most I'm gonna be honest, like most black men, they say it's more so baby daddies than anything. They ain't no husband. You get what I'm saying? Like they really not active in the child's life and in the wife's life. They messing with this woman, that woman, or even just doing what they have known to do was result to drugs and the gangs and all that. So you're really not a statistic.
It's sad. It's sad to see, and I'm on a mission to change those lives. Like that's why it's like I use my story. Like so, if you go listening to my music, if you read my book, anything, it's like and that's why I'm so transparent, because it's one of those where if I could do it, then you can. Like, I'm running for president in 2028. I'll be old.
Period. That's what I'm talking about.
Like, and I'm doing that so I could show like everybody, like, it don't matter like who you are, where you from. Like, I'm from Inglewood, you know what I'm saying? Like, from 63rd. I know Ron got everybody saying something about 63rd. I'm from 63rd. I don't know what he talking about. Like,
He got famous off your line, right?
Yeah, I'm from there, like, and I'm running for it. I'm doing it, like, I'm living my dreams because, you know, like, I didn't allow my circumstances to define me. So I'm on a mission just to get people to see that, yeah, like, it don't matter. So if you see me doing, anybody that's looking at this, that see it, that will view it, if you see me doing what I'm doing and you inspired by it, just like really just like take that inspiration and put it to life. Like that's what I did. When people inspire me, I take it and I create something and I give it back to the world so it can inspire somebody else, so it keep on going. So just pay it forward and just do something, like walking that light. Like, and then you don't have to be like a star to the world. Like, before, like, that's why I be with my kids so much, because like everybody else could look at me, like, you see my story and you be like, oh, I'm inspired. But I mean, that make me feel good because it's like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. But ultimately, it's the people that's closest to me. Like, I got all 3 of my little sisters out of Inglewood. You know what I'm saying? They all down here. So like, that's what they see every day. So regardless of what's being seen on social media or what everybody else get to see, that's my brand. That's what's projected. But at home is what matters the most. So everybody could be a superhero and everybody could be a star in their home. That's how we could change. Like, stop trying to change the world and change your life and the people that's directly affected by you around you, and then let it spread like that. So
that's good, man. That's how you know a statistic. You didn't already answer the question. You know, so I like I said, I appreciate all the gems, all the wisdom that you have dropped within this over this hour. So how can they stay connected with you?
Hold on, let me get the grab the book, grab my book.
Right, yeah, grab the book, man. Grab the book.
All right. It's right here. Look, this like
transform a nation.
Breaking generational curses and mental barriers. 9 stages of growth and professional development. Like, it's a real book.
I'm gonna definitely put it into the comments and I'll
definitely put the link. Go grab it off my website. Don't go to Amazon. They be in my pockets. Go directly to me. I got it. I got you. And they be in my pocket. Got to get them out of my pockets. But
period.
Go RonaldCLeeJr.com and just find me everywhere, like Ronald C Lee. I'm real, like, I'm open, I'm transparent, like, I'm just a down to earth dude. I'm really from, like, you know, I like connecting with people. Like, I reached out to you, you know what I'm saying? I was saluting your growth. I'm like, man, I love seeing your growth. Like, what do I got to do to be on? You know, like, you going somewhere, I want to be a part of it. Like, I like, so get connected with me. Let's work.
For
check
sure.
My music out, check the book out, check out my YouTube. Like, I got a lot of content out. Just really get in tune and get connected with me. And we building the village, we building the team, we building the tribe. So
that's it, man. That's what it's all about, man. About community, about tribe. You feel what I'm saying? So that's how you build connections. And like I said, I appreciate you once again for coming on, being transparent, you know, just being free of your story, your journey. You know, it blessed people that came on. Like, you all, if you all have not done so, like, share. I really appreciate everyone who came on, that stayed with us. I appreciate you so much. I couldn't, I don't know if it was more comments, but I only see this so far. But I appreciate everyone who came on, who stayed on, who shared. Like, I appreciate you all. Even if you watch this replay, I appreciate you as well. And God bless your family, man.
They in that crown now and stuff. Now I hear him in the background. Crown finna have to.
Right. Even before, like, they was quiet the whole time. But like I said, I appreciate all our supporters. Appreciate you, Ronald. We'll definitely stay connected. You got a sister for life now. You feel what I'm saying?
Likewise, man.
Yeah, for sure. So I definitely appreciate you all, and you all have a great night. After this show, I'll be putting in the link so you can stay connected with Ronald and get his book and stuff like that. And also, I want to, before I go, Not a Statistic Apparel will not be having a Black Friday sale. However, I do have the Dripped in Black shirt, and then we have the official signature, which is the white shirt. It's still 50% off. At the moment, we have a few shirts left.
Mhm.
So as you all can see, the link right here. Let me point it. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. It's right here. You see it. It's right here. Where it say www.notastatistic. Get your shirts. Also, while you at it, get on our email list because we'll be dropping out some great content for you all. So I think, like I said, I thank for all my supporters and support. Stay connected, you all. If you all need anything, let me know. And see you all next week. Good night.